for the first time in program history, be a part of Geyer Wildcat football on the radio. Every home and road game during the regular season will be broadcast live.
Starting our 14th season under head coach John Walsh, the two-time Texas State champions can be heard each and every week. Whether you're at the stadium, tailgating, home, or anywhere in the country, you can tune in to Geyer Wildcat football.
The left side of the ball. Bishop going to turn and look and fire, and there you go. Crazy play, and ball's on the ground.
Geyer's got the ball.
Wildcats got the ball. It's still loose and out of bounds. Game
Time
over.
expired.
Wildcat victory.
What a ball game. The blue crew has tossed the white powder. Mayhem.
One of the oldest, well-known sports stadiums in the nation. It has survived the Great Depression, 10 years of America's darkest times. It has hosted presidents. In 1936, President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave a speech to nearly 40,000 people in this stadium. It was fate that the city of Dallas did not want to replace the Cotton Bowl with a new stadium, so here we sit, with so much history, so much tradition, in a stadium that can now host 90,000 fans, cheering their teams towards victory. From concerts to World Cups, and this year even hockey's own Outdoor Classic, football has always and will always be the cornerstone purpose for this place. And what better football to play than Texas high school football? This is the Denton Geyer Football Radio Network. And now your hosts, live from the Cotton Bowl, John Piper and Rick Thrailkill.
Well, I tell you what, John, if you can't get excited after a intro like that, I don't know what you can. Boy, excited as I can be. I'm like a little kid in a candy store here at the Cotton Bowl, legendary venue. I feel like I'm in a seat here that might have been Lindsey Nelson, Keith Jackson, Frank Broyles,
Vern Lundquist, Dallas's own. Rick, partner, man, I got to ask you, did you get any sleep last night? I know how excited you were to get here and get this game started.
I got zero sleep last night.
Well, hey, we're going to be working on adrenaline, Geyer fans, and whoever's tuning in all over the country. It is a special day here at the Cotton Bowl. You know, a lot of January 1st Cotton Bowl classics right here at Fair Park.
Cedar Hill all white, Geyer in their black and those new gray pants and those beautiful gleaming new gray helmets.
Playmaker, Cadrick Cobb, you know, what a load, 5'10", 205 pounds.
Got him bottled up, he's running around, still in the pocket, fires across the middle, and it is a touchdown.
Swimming Pool and Patio, Swimming Pool Solutions, Proto, Precision Fit Labs, and Rapid Med Urgent Care. Thank you so much
here we go,
for your
John.
support.
They're set to kick. Rhodes is going to pooch one down here on the side, and it will be fair caught by Camden Thrailkill.
That's a nice break for Geyer with 2:49 left. Cedar Hill leads this one 20-7. 2:49 left in the first half of play here at AT&T Stadium. We are the Geyer Football Radio Network. We got James Jewell, Rick Thrailkill, Kyle Rogers. We've got Matt Jewell even up here with us doing a little spotting. And I'm John Piper. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if Bridget Jewell's tuned in from the United Kingdom, see if we can hear from her, perhaps. Maybe a chat message.
Yeah, shout out to my friend Steve LaFlame and his girlfriend Rochelle, who joined us from her hospital room last week. She had a little bit of surgery, and she's at home. I'm recovering well, I'm glad to hear. So a little shout out to Steve and Rochelle out there.
Yeah, and Allison Livingston, she tuned in with her father last week from, I think, a hospital up in Oklahoma. So it's pretty cool to hear from those listeners. And that's why we do this, Rick, to be able to bring Geyer football out to them when they can't make it here to the stadium.
Yeah, let's see where we go here on the kick again. Going to kick this time short, coming down to 2 Thrailkill again, and he's going to get it up there to about the 30.
Wow, he's moving the whole pile.
Good effort there from number 2. Hey, holding on to that football with 2 hands too.
No. What does Cam Thrailkill squat? He used those legs right there to move about 5 Cedar Hill Longhorns.
Yeah. Probably close to
sneaky strong there.
Probably close to, I don't know, maybe close to 390, 400 pounds.
Wow.
And he's walking around at 152 if he's lucky.
Yeah, great effort by Cam Thrailkill on that return. 2:40 left to see if Geyer can mount some type of movement and get the ball in the end zone would be fantastic, or get it down in field goal range. I don't know what the answer is for Caden Salter. Coach Ramsey, the defensive unit's going to have to really make some adjustments here at halftime, Rick, to slow down the Cedar Hill Longhorn team.
That time that kick is up, and it's good. You got 23 seconds to go here. You're down 3 scores. You got to lick your wounds here and go to the locker room, John. But
yeah, great point, James. Geyer's had a tough time maintaining a long possession. Was just 7 points in this first half, well under their average of about 47 a game.
For you guys out there, radio broadcast listening on this, you don't have a video feed on it. They're doing a great job of scheming their inside receivers and their running backs and getting them one-on-one with our safeties. And I don't care who you are as a safety, it's difficult to cover slot receivers one-on-one down the field, and we get no pressure whatsoever on Salter.
Yeah, Kate. Go ahead, James.
Both sides of the ball have looked lethargic at best. We have no bounce. We have no pep. There's no enthusiasm like we normally see after the end of a run or anything like that. And maybe Kadrick fumbling early. He seems a little more businesslike than typical, where he's a little more demonstrative. But we've got to find something at halftime and get a little bit of our swagger back, or it's going to be over.
Yeah, Caden Salter, 8 of 14 in the first half, 119 yards, 2 TDs with no interceptions. But here's the big number, 7 rushing attempts, 94 yards with 1 TD as well.
Hard to come by.
Wow, this is special. We've got both Dr. Perry, Mr. Haley, the principal, and the associate principal down there in the middle of the Geyer Wildcats trying to fire them up. They are invested in this athletic program, and Mr. Haley, we thought for many years he was a coach on the field.
Yeah, we did, John. You and I talked about that a few weeks ago when we interviewed him, and we said for the first 2 years that we knew the guy, we thought for sure that he was like a coach on the team.
Yeah, exciting.
I do not believe, John, regardless of what happens, I do not believe you will see Geyer kick the ball to Cedar Hill again. It's going to be onside.
Yeah, that onside kick.
2 backs.
Is the best I've ever seen.
And there's 2 backs set now. Going to hand off to 1. Cobbs, and he's got a huge hole. And he is on the right side. And he is up and running inside the 20-yard line. Kadrick Cobbs is laying wood to that Cedar Hill defense.
Hey, he does a great job protecting that ball. He puts both hands over it right before he gets tackled.
Yeah, tremendous
He's not going to
block.
have another turnover.
Tremendous block by
Nice
62
cut.
Gabe Blair as he blow a wide open hole on that right side. Got to give that big offensive line credit as 62 Blair and 64 Thorne are really punching a hole in that right side.
He ran right by number 9, Marion Williams, made him look silly there. Gained about 10 extra yards.
Clock's going to run now under 8 minutes as your Wildcats driving left to right on your radio dial. Beautiful black, all black uniforms. Those gleaming silver helmets are on the move. Now, like I said last week, John, it's a lot easier to tackle number 1 in the first quarter than it is in the fourth quarter.
An athletic front, they average about 255 across the front, but they are a little
Stowers
juiced.
takes a snap, hand. No, he's got to keep it, and he's going for the corner, and he will score. And Eli Stowers celebrates with his teammates. Pandemonium has broken loose at AT&T Stadium. And your Geyer Wildcats now trying to take the lead.
As that camera zoomed in to Eli Stowers, that looked effortless as well, much like we saw Caden Salter in the first half. Doesn't look like he's even sweating, Rick. He was headed towards the pylon, did a nice spin move to get into the end zone. Eric Ariano in for the point after attempt.
The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is perfect. And with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, John, Geyer takes the lead 42-41.
For the first time all game, Geyer has the lead, and it's come down to the point after attempts in the kicking game. 42-41. We didn't think we'd be seeing this about midway through the third quarter, Rick, but here we are. Game on. Geyer has all the momentum. The Cedar Hill, the entire Cedar Hill Stadium is lifeless right now. The band is seated. Geyer is just a tremendous explosion right here. We didn't really expect to see this, but what a outpouring of effort. They really reached deep down inside somewhere and are making some plays. And with the lead, do we see another onside kick?
I guarantee we will not kick it deep. This same thing happened to us in the semifinals the year we won our first state championship. John Tyler got 3 onside kicks in a row, and then they kicked it deep, and we drove it and scored and beat them. You will not see Geyer High School kick this ball deep again unless they have a 2-score lead on the last possession.
Well, if y'all can tell.
And this time they're going to onside kick on the left, and it's loose again, and we got it, but there's going to be an offsides here. They might be.
Wow.
Let's see what the flag is.
The
yes,
back
sir.
judge is
Yes, sir.
got the ball. Coach Walsh is fired up.
This is going to be unbelievable.
Braden
Offsides.
Viejo. Looks like Braden Viejo comes up with it, the sophomore.
On Cedar Hill, and we're going wild. The stands are going wild, John. 7 minutes and 28 seconds to go.
You don't hear this much noise at a Dallas Cowboy game on Monday Night Football, I'm telling you.
Look, let me tell you something. And we talked about this last time, guys. That Cedar Hill defense is gassed.
Right.
They have not been off the field this entire half, and you're going to see another steady diet at number 1.
Hey, nice job. The left-footed kicker, Eric Ariano, was able to kick it left to the right side to the Geyer sideline, and Geyer comes up big.
Yeah, now you got a handoff right side. 1, Cadrick Cobbs, and he's running through tackle, and he is off on the right sidelines. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Wildcats! Unbelievable! And suddenly,
Cadrick Cobbs, no flags on the play. There's a little confusion out there. Something's going on. There's a flag.
There is a flag. There is a flag on the right side. That one's going to come back. Well, he's going to be short, but they're in 4-down territory right here.
Yeah, keeps the clock moving with 6:12 and counting down. Geyer leads us from 42-41 against Cedar Hill.
Yeah,
It's going to be 3rd and 4
third down
to go.
Yeah.
Here's where you give it to Cadrick Cobbs 2 times in a row.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And that
right
big
here.
offensive line.
I don't
like
think there's
James
any
said,
question.
the Cedar Hill defensive front is gassed.
Yeah, we're not running sideways here. I got a feeling we're going
Yeah.
right ahead with 1, Cobbs.
They know what's coming.
And there's a hand, and there it is, and he's got a huge hole, and he's running over people, and Cobbs busts loose down to the 25-yard line. First down, Wildcats.
Cater Cobb, another Lantana Eye Care first down.
And you got him laying on the field
Jordan
everywhere
Thorne,
now.
Knox Boyd, Chet Beach. Let's give credit to that entire offensive
Tyon
line.
Aldridge, the other running back, knocked a linebacker 15 yards. And two things you're not seeing, John. You're not seeing any celebration from the players on the Cedar Hill Longhorns, and no more high fives from that radio crew.
Yeah, we are right next to our actually voice of Cedar Hill. Long time, 17 years calling the games. They have definitely quieted next to us here at AT&T Stadium. There's still a lot of ball left to be played, Rick. 5 minutes and 27 seconds and counting. Geyer with the momentum, first down and 10.
And we line up, and now in a hand inside, 1, 2 hands on the ball.
This is where that year-round conditioning by Coach Keese and the staff. In this fourth quarter, Geyer looks to be a more well-conditioned ball team now.
Cedar Hill is going to have to you can see their defensive line, John, is just absolutely gassed. They're on a knee. Everything, they're gonna have to just hold on here.
Yeah, it looks like Jalil Harvey, 6'4", 285-pounder, is gassed on a knee.
Yes.
Well, it becomes a chess match right here, Rick. 4th and 3, gut check time.
4th down, and looks like a long 2-3 yard, maybe.
I think everybody in the stadium knows who's going to get the ball, Catering Cobbs, but does Coach Walsh call a little option here and maybe keep it?
I don't know. You might see some RPO action right here.
We'll
sure.
see definitely a run pass option right here. With 4:25 left in this one, Geyer leads at 42-41. Again, we do want to thank our broadcast partners, Lantana Eye Care, ProCare Collision, 6-Stitch Apparel for outfitting the Geyer Football Radio Network team, Marty B's Media from Scratch, Shell Shack, Lantana RV and Boat Storage, Outdoor Living Pool and Patio, Swimming Pool Solutions, Proto, Precision Fit Labs, and Rapid Med Urgent Care. Thank you so much for bringing you Geyer Football on the radio.
All right, play of the game right here for Cedar Hill. They have got to get a stop right here. If you see the Wildcats roll into a big first down, and here we go in that long eye formation. Stack, quick, take, Stowers. Now he's going to run at it, and they jump. And it looks like every single time.
Coach Walsh is fired up.
And they got him to jump. That's going to be a first down for the Wildcats. That'll move the ball down inside the 20-yard line. Stowers going to take and hand to Cobbs. And he has got still running with those big thighs, pounding people inside the 5-yard line, John. Or excuse me, inside the 10-yard line. Gain on the play of about 7 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 3.
We'll give a shout out to Denton's own Peterbilt Truck Manufacturing. He's starting to put it in a different gear and just that power mode of a Peterbilt truck right there, Rick.
Now you got to just see what you got. It's a gut check right here, John.
Gabe Blair, Devin Mack, Chet Beach, Jordan Thorne, Knox Boyd, Connor Briggs, Jess Holbert. Now's your time to shine.
Got to put those big boy pants on. Stowers going to take and hand to Cobbs. Touchdown, Wildcats. Big number 1 rumbles into the end zone. Now with 1 minute and 39 seconds to go in this ball game, Geyer Wildcats lead 48-41.
Boy, this thing changed. To put it on about the 1-yard line right there.
Inside the 2 for sure, yes.
Yeah, 1.5, we'll call it. So Geyer looks like they're going to line up and go for 2.
They got 2 backs. Aldridge to the right, Cobbs to the left. Snap, hand, Cobbs, and he's in. And that might be your ball game right there.
Hey, behind Connor Briggs, Jordan Thorne. Geyer Blue Crew is
hard
on the Jumbotron. Coach Walsh has taken off his headset.
It is hard to believe, John, what I have witnessed today.
Wow.
1 minute, 39 seconds. Now you cannot lose.
The Geyer band, the Silvos, have fired up this crowd. Not that they needed anything extra, Rick, but unbelievable.
Now with a 9-point lead and 1:39 seconds, you cannot let anyone get behind you. Now you will see them kick the ball. I said, John, you made that first down there, and it was absolute pandemonium on the home team here. Liliano's going to kick high, and it's coming down, bobbled, and we're going to swarm him up at about the 25-yard line.
That's Tyler Jarrett on it.
Tremendous job there, 35, Tyler Jarrett, as he gets down there and blows that play up. And crazier things happen, right? You get a touchdown here, you get the onside kick, and you throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. So I mean, we got to play defense here. That was a enormous play, though, because now they don't have any timeouts.
Hey, we've got folks tuned in from League City, Texas, Waco, Indianapolis, Indiana. Thank you so much for tuning in to this classic Geyer football game on the Geyer Football Radio Network here at AT&T Stadium. Rick, you got 17 seconds left in you?
Yeah, I sure do. Got to tackle him inbounds right here. Keep him out of the end zone. Now Salter, straight back, looking, still looking, fires to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Diving effort there.
Oh, Seth Metter.
Now you got 9 seconds now.
Seth Metter's in there at safety now. Good job. He comes in, knocks the ball down. 9 seconds left on this clock. 11 seconds.
11 seconds. Salter, straight back, looking. Now he's going to take off. Nope, still nowhere to run. Great defense. He's trying to come back. This is going to be the last game. It's going to be over, and the Wildcats are going to win and go on to the playoffs as they simply ran the clock out. Tremendous play.
Wow, we're just going to sit here and let the crowd listen to this. What a classic, Rick, here at AT&T Stadium. This round 2 of the Texas High School playoffs, which is also round 2 of Cedar Hill versus Denton Geyer Wildcats, did not disappoint. Ends up being just go down as a classic game. Geyer wins it 50-41.
What did I say, John, at halftime? It's going to take 50 to win it, and it did.
Hey fans, welcome here at AT&T Stadium. I'm John Piper, joined by my partner all season long, Rick Thrailkill. Wow, Rick, we were just talking how special it is to be back here. Week 16 for Championship Saturday. Wow, what does it mean to you to be here, not only as a broadcaster, but as a father? Your son will be playing tonight.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, John. Got to spend a little bit of time on the field with my son and the rest of the players and some of the other dads on the tunnel team. And, it's just really an amazing thing. How special it is to play in a state championship, especially in a big place like Texas. But to have both my boys do it 7 years apart really it's magical, John. That's all I can say.
And we'll be joined after kick by James Jewell. He's down there as well. His son Trace Jewell, well-documented story. He got injured, season-ending injury. Will play next season at Navy, but he's down there soaking in that moment. We'll hear from him during one of the TV timeouts. We're also joined by Kyle Rogers. He's back off camera. Once again, a huge shout out. Kyle Rogers getting us on the air, technically producing and directing our live game day broadcast each and every week. And it's been just a fantastic run. Who would have thought, Rick, when we started this thing well in the preseason, that we'd be here broadcasting the championship game?
Well, I mean, you'd like to think that, right? I know we had the talent, but as you and I talked about on the broadcast each week, once you get into that quarterfinal, semifinal, everybody's good. So to get back here, just an unbelievable feeling, John. Again, like I said, it's magic. It's magical.
And just for you fans out there, Rick is talking about the talent on the field, not in the box, right?
Never. No talent in the box.
Rick, to really start breaking down this game, we had a great visit with Coach Walsh on Thursday. He has been just one cool customer. I mean, we've every week we visit with him, and each week through the playoffs, I don't think his heart rate's changed. He's, you've really known him longer than I have, but he seems like he's really set and ready. He's got the staff ready. He's got the kids playing well. Have you noticed anything different, or has he always been just pretty low key when it comes to these state title games?
This is what I'll say is different. Coach Walsh has always been confident. He's a confident guy. He comes from a winning program in Brownsville, so even before he got here, he knew what winning was all about. But he mentioned it on the coaches show, and I think
the differentiator this year and why you're picking little things up like that is that this team, the confidence this team has, gives him that confidence. He said it last week on the field before the game, John. He said he knew the game was over when we ran out to the 40-yard line, and sort of bucked our chest up at Westfield. He said, just not talking trash, that team walked out there on a mission and they felt like they're going to win. And he just said that gives him the confidence, right? So
hey, we do want to remind the fans, due to UIL restrictions, we will have to cut this Facebook feed right here at Kick. But it's just a great platform to come in to you. Maybe some of you are stumbling across this for the very first time. There's that Spreaker link. Make sure you tune into that. Share it out to not only the Gower community, but we have people listening all over the country.
We got people listening all over the world.
I believe
I was told this morning that we needed to have a special show because there are people listening all over the world.
Wow. I know. I believe a special shout out to the official outfitter of the Gower Football Radio Network, Six Stitch Apparel.
Six Stitch Apparel.
They may be tuned in from, I believe, the Bahamas. They planned a little Christmas vacation with the family. Mark and Barkley Lozier, special friends of the show. If you're tuning in, we'd love to hear from you, your comments. Let us know throughout the broadcast on the Spreaker app. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer them live. It's hard to do with this type of atmosphere.
Right.
But Kyle does a great job feeding us those questions, and it's been fantastic having the interaction. I think last week we had about 140 or 150 comments during the broadcast. So we like to interact with all the fans if you can't be here at the stadium. So.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'd like to thank everybody. Here's what I'd like to do, John. This is our last broadcast of the year, and we know it's going to be a great one. We hope it's our best so far this year. But I'd like to send a special thanks out to the fans because when we started this thing, right, we had a few hundred people that first week. Last week we had our biggest audience of the year. It's been a special ride. The comments that you guys have sent to us, even in the beginning, and Kyle's over there nodding a little bit, even in the beginning there was some nice criticism sent our way. We appreciate that too.
Yeah, we love the feedback.
But the kind words these last 5 or 6 weeks, and when people say it means so much to us, that means so much to us, literally, right? So I want to thank all the fans for sticking with us.
Yeah, for letting us invade your home, your
living
car.
room, your
A lot
car,
of people are traveling when they tune in.
Your hotel room, whatever it is.
I believe John Jackson, his family, Gower family, is traveling to Tampa, Florida. If you're tuned in, I heard they're going to be playing it on their Apple CarPlay or something. They got 4, 5, 6 folks in the car,
right,
and are tuning in. So that's what's neat is we can bring the Gower football wherever. We had several texts throughout the season where people text us. They're in a hospital room, with a loved one, a father, a spouse, and able to listen to Gower football.
A couple of pictures
from those situations.
Would send us pictures and how they had a smile on their face from being able to listen to the Gower game. Yeah.
Well, hey, we had a chance to visit with Coach Walsh pregame. Greg Tepper, who's been the hardest working man in, I'll say, show business, because, man, what a spectacle this is this week in a good way at AT&T Stadium in Arlington starting on Wednesday.
2 decks are absolutely packed, and the Blue Crew is truly blue tonight. They are here in numbers on the 15, 20-yard line of the whole team, or the home side, and they own the entire lower level of that section, John.
Yeah, their theme this week, they have a unique theme every week. Last week was Christmas. They had a couple Santa Claus and elves in the fan base, but today it is blue.
Good morning, Silvos. We got the Gower Silvos at AT&T Stadium getting ready for some playoff action. There's Cedar Hill.
To be back in the state championship, and B, to be playing a traditional powerhouse like Austin Westlake.
Absolutely. I said it, I know there's been a quote tweeted out, and it really wasn't throwing anything out there brashly, but it's the truth. I think, one, we want to be where we're at. We feel like we're a state championship program, and we've got staying power, and we've proven it, and we're back.
We've been scrappy. We've had good pieces.
Right.
But I've never seen a Gower team get off the bus against a team like that and not only look good
about business. And I could tell in pregame by the confidence and how we're warming up on both sides that we were in business.
Well, Coach, it's hard to believe the 2019 season's winding down. Win or lose Saturday night, how do you sum up this team? I know it's been special for you. Any final words on the team?
Well, I'll refuse to answer that question because you said win or lose. And I don't.
Win or win.
Okay, win or win. No, just being funny with you, but man, and I've had a lot of interviews with the media. This group is special. We've had talent here before in the other 3 games. We've been to the 3 title games, but this one, what puts them above the rest is from top to bottom, from the number 1 jersey number to the number 99 jersey number, 100% gets along and has created a family unit here. And we've had they get the relationship building, they get how important it is, and it's not fake. And we haven't had to coach it. It's there. I mean, there's 0 clicks. And the bus rides were fun. We spent it overnight, and there were no worries because of just class and character. And
We take the show on the road to Marty B's in Bartonville, Texas, for a special live remote Coaches Edition, the Gyre Football Radio Network.
All right, folks, we are starting quarter number 4 here at the Gyre Football Radio Network live Coaches Show. We are joined by none other than offensive coordinator and day oneer, you just heard from him, day oneer, Coach Mitch Stovall. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Appreciate you having me, guys.
Well, hey, give Coach Stovall, I know you guys are kind of, but he does so much. Rick and I were talking.
Well, thank you.
And then, getting the kids ready on the offensive side. Now, I do want to ask you, do you ever bleed over? Do you ever talk to Coach Ramsey about any defense at all, or do you kind of have a demarcation?
I've got all kinds of advice for Ramsey all the time. And he filters it, throws it away just like he should.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as being the kind of guy that listens to the offensive coach. No, I bet you that's not true.
No,
I bet
not
you
at
guys
all.
do talk a lot.
No,
right?
we do. The whole staff's that way. We all talk. We bounce ideas off one another and what might be good, what might not be good, and that's just a good way to filter. It's a good filtering process.
It's a great environment.
You just kind of roll that way.
Well, Coach, we were just talking about, taking a risk, 3 hours. I remember I moved my family down here from Kentucky, and it's a lot further. And I said, hey, if it doesn't work out, I can always move back. And I know I got one right here that's glad we moved to Dallas, Texas. Jack Piper with us. But it didn't start off well. I think, was it 1-19 the first 2 seasons?
It was 1-19, and we knew it was going to be a rocky start. Don't know that we knew it was going to be that rocky.
Well, explain to everybody, too, though, Coach, because a lot of people don't realize this. When you go into a new school like that, most of the really good players, the upperclassmen, no matter what the boundaries say, they can stay where they're at. So you knew you would have tough time getting any upper class guys that could play.
Right. When we came in, the way it was set up was, anybody that was already at a high school, if they wanted to stay there, they could stay there.
Right.
If they wanted to transfer and come to Gyre, they could do that. And like I said, most of the established upperclassmen, like most of us would, they stayed at the school they were at, and you don't blame them for that. And so, it kind of set us behind the 8 ball a little bit at the start, but we trusted the process. I know that's a saying that gets thrown around quite a bit, but even back then, we knew what we were going to do. We trusted the process of building the off season, getting the kids to work, the work ethic, everything that we know that we could do, and we knew that in time it was going to turn around.
Well, look, just for a minute, let me indulge myself here, because I started as a football coach. That's what I started to do when I first got out. So let's get a little bit football nerdy, right?
Let's do it.
So
I'm ready.
I've got one. My oldest son, he's on the way too, and even my youngest son, Ken. When we watch football games, we usually make people mad around us because I'm always hitting pause and we're talking about. But for a second, let's talk about game planning. Let's talk about what goes into setting up, because a lot of people don't know you got X amount of plays in your playbook, but you don't roll into every game. Now, you might want to call one later, but you don't roll into the game with all those. You're going to concentrate on a few things. You're going to try to find weaknesses and strengths on your side. You're going to exploit things. Talk to us about game planning, and then bring it all the way down to what goes on in the headsets, right, between plays.
Well, first of all, it starts out, let's take a Saturday morning where the whole staff rolls in, and that's one thing that Coach Walsh does a really good job of, is he allows the entire staff to have a lot of input on the game plan. This isn't a one horse show or 2 horse. I mean, it's the whole staff that puts into this. So you sit in on a Saturday morning, you get everything done from the night before. Wash your hands clean of the night before's game is what how I like to look at it. Yeah. But then you start in on the opponent watching video. You always have a little preconceived notion of what the opponent is and what their strengths are going in. But as soon as you start watching the video, you're going to find out what you need to see personnel-wise, scheme-wise, and then that translates, into a Sunday to a staff meeting when you want to really hone in on the game plan, exactly what plays, formations, what's going to work, what do you feel is going to be successful for you, and then that's what you throw on that game plan and get ready to go to work with in practice, just like we did today.
We're live right now. If you're still tuned in, comment, let us know where you're tuned in from. We are at Marty B's. Monday Night Football is going on. Just a great venue. Marty B was down here earlier, and just a gracious host. Man, what a great place. Everybody having a good time?
Hey, so special guest tonight, John. We've gone through quarterback, running back. We've had some defenders. So tonight, we talk about the big uglies, Coach. The ones you
Absolutely.
coach. Big hog mollies. So tonight, we got the real pretty boys.
Yes, we do.
This is the wide receiver group is the real pretty boys.
Their head is swelling. Get an ice pack, quick.
Out of all of it.
Ice pack.
So I'm going to get a little bit of background first. So if you could give that to Brandon first. So this is so we're going to start with Brandon DeLeon. So just for introduction tonight, we got Seth Metter, we got Camden Thrailkill, we got Brandon DeLeon, and Travis Romar. We're trying to find Briggsy too. We wanted to include our big tight end in this as well. But this is the big question, Brandon. Not anything about your football experience, about life or anything like that. But John wants to know, are you related to our sponsor?
Yeah, me from scratch. Is there any tie-in on Chef De Leon down there? Any relation at all?
No, at all.
Okay. Well, we've been trying to clarify that all year. I'm glad you thought
there
of that,
isn't,
Rick.
there isn't.
Perfect opportunity.
Every single time we run that segment, Brandon, Mr. Piper will always say, is that Brandon DeLeon? Is there any relation?
In full transparency here, Rick was hoping to get some gift cards at Media from Scratch.
I did. Now I'm aggravated, right?
Dang it.
So,
right.
So let's toss it over here to Travis. So I understand, Travis, you're the talker of the bunch, right?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Let's go to Cam. No, I'm just kidding.
You answered your own question.
No, I'm just kidding. So, real briefly, I've known you for a long time, right? There was a time when you were going to quit football and concentrate on basketball. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You made the right decision, though, didn't you?
Yes.
You love the game?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Travis is the one that everybody talks about being the monster in the weight room too, and there's everybody's like, it's just not fair. Like he's built different, right? So I'll pass it on down here to Camden.
Passing the hot mic.
Yeah. So Camden, you two over here on the end, you and Meter, right?
Oh.
You and Seth
no.
Meter. How many times have we been in places this year where we're referred to as Thrailkill and Meter? Has that happened how many times over the loudspeaker?
Well, every day at practice, first of all. Every day.
But Coach,
the coaching staff still doesn't have it right?
No, the coaching staff knows at this point. They don't want to make an effort to change it. They don't care.
It takes too much energy.
They don't care about us being happy.
So this is full disclosure. 2 years ago or so, when Camden first was playing on the freshman team or whatever, Coach Walsh flat out told me, he said, "I just want you to know, Rick, I know what your name is, but I ain't changing." So you've been Thrailkill forever, and that's where you're going to stay. So you guys are the spokes guys. You guys are a little bit the jokesters and everything like that. But sometimes at this position, you got to keep it loose. It's traditionally been this sort of thing for the position. But we got some probing questions for you about life and politics.
You're on
and that's totally not true.
The Geyer football hot seat. Are y'all ready for this? Y'all ready? Are you all ready?
All right, Seth.
All right,
Seth. You get question number one.
We have a lot of baseball analogies, in the broadcast. So we're both fans of the great game of baseball as well. But you're known as the home run hitter, the go-to guy late in the game. But we had John on the halftime segment, and don't get it too close to you.
My bad.
It's all right. And you're real humble. You said, hey, whatever it takes, all your receivers here with you. And that's really been the key. We talk to Coach Walsh each and every week about distributing the ball and win the assignment. Did I get that right, Coach? Win the assignment. We talk about it all the time, just carrying out your blocks. You just eclipsed 1,000 yards, 14 TDs, but you just still go to work every day. What does it mean on and off the field to be surrounded by such a great group of kids?
It means everything to, I think, all of us, actually. I would do things for these guys because I know that they would do the same thing for me, and it's that trust and that brotherhood that you really can't get anywhere else at school. It really just happens on this team.
Yeah, good stuff. Do you ever get back in the huddle at practice, probably not in a game, and just say, hey, Eli, hey, drop a new play or anything, get creative?
We haven't got to that point yet where we're just making our own plays because I think we would get in trouble.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, Coach Walsh that's one reason he stuck around.
Yeah, I think we get torn into a little bit.
I got a question. I got a question.
Wait.
Shout out to the audience between.
Coach Walsh has clarified that.
Has he made it up on the?
Did he
both
bring
times.
it up?
It didn't work.
Ask him how it worked out.
When did I do that?
So.
Oh, he's right. He's right. He's right.
Hey, I got this one.
He's right.
This one goes out to Coach Walsh and Coach Stovall. Has any of this bunch here ever been covered? Ever? Are they open every single play?
If you ask them, the answer is no.
Never. Right. Never. And do they ever ask for the ball?
Never. No, none of them.
That's cool.
Good stuff. Thanks, Seth.
Thanks, Seth. Next one goes to Travis Romar. Travis, you've come on fantastic this year. I've seen you mature a lot. You're second leading receiver, I believe, on the team. I'm proud of you, really. I've known you personally for a long time. I've seen you mature as a person, too. Any designs on playing at the next level? Because I think you're going to have some chances.
Oh, yes, of course. I just don't know where yet.
You know, we talk about it all the time in any sport, Coach. I know Coach Walsh and I've said this before. You got to find the place where you can play. Right?
Absolutely.
Instead
no
of the place that
it.
you want, find the place that
no
wants you.
No question about it. And on top of it, what's a place you would like to go to school if you took football out of the equation?
Because you're going to have to do that anyway. Because that's what you want. That's the whole idea to get there, right? All right, super. John?
Next up, Camden Thrailkill. Give it up for Cam Thrailkill. Well, Cam, you're like the Swiss Army knife on this squad. You do a little bit of everything. That's a good thing, right? Seth Metter, he got the helmet on here. He's ready to go play. But, you're the holder on the field goals, the extra points. You're, the slot receiver. You're back there for pooch kicks. You do a little bit of everything. You're thrown on deep patterns at times. What has it meant for your role in this team to just do, and you've told me, too, in the hallway, hey, I just do whatever I need to do to help this team win. And I think that's the right attitude. If you guys are going to win a state title, that's what everybody's got to do, right? Just do whatever it takes. What's been that like for you this season, your senior year?
I mean, winning's been the biggest part, really. Winning is always fun, especially when you get to do it with your best friends. So the biggest part is really just making a play when your name is called, if it's called. It doesn't really matter, whether it be 1 plays, 100 plays, 1 target, 3 targets. It doesn't really matter as long as you step up when the team needs you. And that's just how we've been winning, really. We have so many athletes and playmakers on both sides of the ball. So it's really just about making a play when your number's called.
Hey, one thing that's pretty cool, I think your big brother is still here at Preston somewhere, I believe. Yeah. He's pursuing, a lot like JW, the coaching profession at Liberty Christian. It's kind of neat for him to be here during your senior year in this run. Does he get in your ear any? Is he trying to give you a little coaching advice at all?
Sometimes a little too much, maybe, but he's good. I love to talk to him. I value his opinion a lot. He knows what he's talking about for sure. So I'll go to him sometimes, but not too often.
Well, hey, I've seen you since the 7th and the 8th grade. Had to coach against you on 7-on-7 Harpool versus Crown Over.
That's always tough.
And you were always the one making plays back then. You always figure out a way to get it done. You had a big catch the other night. It was called back due to a penalty, but keep after it.
Yeah.
So,
next
thank
is
you.
Brandon. So Brandon DeLeon blown up onto the scene this year, man, really surged. And, we've seen you play. I mean, I got to call a lot of the JV games. This is a neat story. And, Coach Walsh, he talks about it every year. The kid that was on the B team as a freshman, then we asked him to do this, and then we made a position change with him, and he got lost. He said the first game that we played this year, and I asked him, well, who's going to be the breakout star? And he said, I'll tell you who it's going to be Brandon DeLeon. He said he could do anything. He'd catch balls, he'd run the football, he'd do backflips. Yeah. He said,
backflips. Hey, and not to mention, this is our deep snapper.
Yes.
He can do it all.
Well, that's what I was just going to. I was just like, and he said, hell, he can. Walsh was like, hey, he can deep snap for us. I said, well, I'm just going to stop asking. we've seen you each week grow and grow and grow, but you've sort of taken on the role this year as being the big body guy, right? When Zalil left, the guy that goes across the middle, the guy that can, get physical after the play. And you've made some big catches this year, and you also are excitable. What do you see your role is in the team? Have you been proud and happy to kind of take on that role? You started out as a running back, right?
Yeah. First and foremost, I just want to thank God, because without him, I wouldn't be here. And I always like to thank Walsh as well for giving me this opportunity to play with the team, because I've been working so hard to get where I am at right now. And I'm just happy to help out the team and what I'm doing, because no matter what it is, even if we have to run down the field just to get a corner, safety, whoever it is out the way to help the play, I believe that just helps the whole team out. And I'm just glad to be playing with everyone who I want to be playing with. And I'm proud of that.
Yeah, Cam said that to me one time. That's a great point, Brandon.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to that. Cam said to me one time a few weeks ago, I like that. He's like, we all want the ball, right? But he was talking about how close you guys are, right? And, at first you think sometimes things like that is just talk. But then when I see Kim, there's Miss Noble. I see Noble Photography out there, Kim. When I see the pictures every week, right, who do you see on the sidelines in between plays? It's all you guys, always together, always with a smile on your face. So, Brent, do you feel that that's true? Is that just something that we're seeing, or is this group really, really tight?
We're really, really tight. I mean, I got to Guyer late my freshman year around November, and I grew with Travis, Seth, and Cam, and everyone else in the receiver group. I grew with them real tight, and that I know that we all want the ball. Obviously, because we're a receiver group, so we want the ball. But I know that if we have to go out and block, whoever's getting the ball, we know we're going to do our part to make them look successful on the field.
Yeah, well, it's really showed up this year with all y'all. Briggsy's not here, but I want you to ask everybody else the question for Briggs and let them answer, and then we'll close this thing out with a real last thought.
Oh, well, do y'all think that Briggsy is he's the speedy one of the bunch?
Yeah, I mean he's the speedster, right?
Fastest kid on the team, for sure.
Yeah.
0 to 60 in a minute.
So he's the one always having to go in. He's having to hammer everybody in the head all the time. But is it cool when
fastest one a team?
Yeah. Is it cool when Briggsy gets a bone thrown his way every now and then?
Oh, it's great. Like last game, he slipped up, I think, for like a 30-yard catch or something like that, down to like the 3 or 4 yard line.
Yeah, hey, when it's thrown his way, he catches it.
He does,
he's part
and it's cool too because he
two onside kick recoveries.
There's not a lot of glory in what he gets to do, blocking all the time and for everybody else. So when he gets the opportunity, he loves to take
Hey, a follow-up question I do want to ask: when Jess Holbert's wearing number 82, does Coach Walsh, Coach Stovall ever think about a little, maybe let him go down to his knees, hop back up, a little fade route in the corner of the end zone?
He's a downfield threat.
We're just waiting for the right moment with Jess.
We are, yeah, for sure.
Well, hey,
we don't know when that will come.
But we're still looking for it.
I did ask Stovall that on Saturday morning, and he looked at me for a minute. He paused. He says, "Piper, you trying to get me fired?" Well, hey, Coach Walsh, if you come on up. Hey, give everybody, give these guys a hand. The receiving core minus a couple of them, KJ Liggins and Briggsy. I think we're about to wrap this thing up. And, hey, we do want to thank Marty Bees for being such a gracious host. We're not kicking anybody out. We're just trying to wrap the show up because we did have a time spot here. We're at 8:50. And we do want to thank the coaching staff for coming out, the players, the parents, all the support staff. Give you all a hand for that. No. Good stuff.
Hey, we want to turn this thing over to Coach Walsh, though, literally the last few minutes, and let him say a few words. Coach?
Thanks for putting me on the spot there, Rick.
You're very well.
But no, yeah, I appreciate you two guys. We've won a lot of games around here for a decade, and I think when you try to put a quality program together, I think you deserve a quality broadcast, and we do have that now in you two guys. So let's give these two guys a round of applause for.
Hey, we're glad to do it.
Because I do know this. The Walshes, my dad's side of the family, all live in New Jersey, and they tune in all the time to hear this game. So it's going to keep growing. Y'all are doing a fantastic job. And just listening to these guys talk, and just everybody's always asking what makes Guyer so special. And we do have good players, but we coach great kids. And just the makeup of our school and the relationship building is second to none. And I think it shows with these guys. And it's every year. But what makes this group special is we're all juniors and seniors. We have a couple sophomores on the varsity, but we're not needing to play sophomores. So when you can play juniors and seniors and they all get along like they do and they got talent like they do, then you got a chance to win another title. And we truly believe, and we know we got our work cut out for us at AT&T, but we really believe we got a chance to win that third state title. I said at the banquet, those who were at the banquet, that we fully expected to be in the mix in December, and nothing's changed here in November. Thank y'all for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach Walsh. Hey, again, thank you everybody for coming out.